US Transaction Core is a market-leading company that continues its activities in the field of credit card processing. Unlike its competitors, they only work with associations and B2B enterprises, and achieved great success with a 95% client retention rate with more than 500 customers. They have newly established the UST Education series, which organizes certified webinars. On their journey, UST Education has started to face some problems with issuing and distributing their certificates. This is where they met Sertifier.
We had several meetings with other types of organizations because we were trying to replace our event software at the same time. And there was event software that did have issuing, CEs or issuing certificates like built into the software, but it had to have like specific type of Zoom integrations. And the way we do our Zoom is very different. So none of it was applicable. We were still going to have to like hire somebody else to do some API, work for us to be able to integrate it just right. And it was just going to be like a lot more trouble and more effort than it was worth. And plus the software was like super, super expensive. And so I think I found you guys just from our searching for different event software. And then I came across, somebody had the idea, what if we just did just a software that just did certificates? And I was like, okay, let's look for that. So that we found you guys, but there were so many other softwares out there that just didn't do it all. Like they would do one thing, but not have a critical other component, and so it just, none of it was fitting for our use case, which was kind of unique.
Due to the content of the certified webinar programs, one of the biggest expectations of the attendees was to be able to receive their certificates on time and use them where necessary.
We had a couple people that actually emailed us who were very unhappy, some attendees, and they were like, if we're not getting our certificates issued for days, and sometimes people forget to even issue us certificates, like we don't want to waste our time going to your webinars anymore. And then, so we came back to them, and this is like right before we integrated with you guys, right? We came back to them and said, look, we're about to roll out an automatic, certificate, program. And they were like, oh, if that's the case, I'll keep coming. Like it's worth my time. And so they have still been attending. The couple of people who were kind of disgruntled before, they have started attending. I mean, they're at every webinar almost, they're always there. And so I'm assuming that they're pretty happy now, but we've had a lot of good feedback. We have it automated in a way that within 30 minutes of the webinar close time, they are issued their certificate. So we went from like sometimes a week lag to within half an hour.
Sertifier has always been a software that integrates with platforms such as Moodle, Zapier, and Canvas LMS. And while Sertifier's Zapier integration enabled the automatization of recipient names, it could not automate the information about the content of the webinar. In order to solve this problem, we created a new Zap on Zapier so that both recipients' names and education information are automated and easily integrated with Sertifier App.
Really, like that is what did it for me. That was like done deal, like when Sertifier came back and said, yeah, we can do that, we can make that work for you. I was like, oh my gosh, that just saves us hours, like hours a week. So.
The customized branding option of Sertifier's mail and certificates provided benefits that US Transaction Core did not expect.
Automation and the ability to have the variable fields, to have that flexibility to put what we want on there, the ability to create our own certificate, upload it, into the platform. It's really, I like the customization too. So that was the other thing with like the emails, being able to customize the emails.
Yeah.
So all of that's been really great. And the branding, it kind of just checked all the boxes, what we needed. Issuing certificates, manually, or even through another service where you're not, branding and stuff. It just looks like you're not that well put together, like you're just flying by the seat of your pants, sort of, so to speak, that you're not that professional, it's not a very professional look. But when you are able to issue the same, the branding, and it looks the same every single time, and the emails are branded, to our company, and the URL that the email address is coming from, like all of it is branded to our company, it looks way more professional. But then also having that, the certificate site, the certificate library, that's just like a huge add-on that increases that professional, appearance of branding and because we don't quite have our URL branded on that. And that's only because we're developing the microsite right now. So I wanted to wait. And then eventually once that's stood up, we'll be able to connect all of that and it'll be even better. So Yeah, it's 100% the best thing for branding, and it elevates your company entirely, I think.
Among the services offered by Sertifier, one of the most used features by UST Education Core was the reports.
I love the reporting. The reporting was also a big thing. What I like about the reporting section is a lot of times people will come up to us and they say, I don't think, can you resend that certificate? Or I don't know if I, blah, 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 blah. And now that I know how the repository works a little, I just send them the link. Now I'm like, look up your name or whatever, and then you can find all your certificates. But we can just go into the reports and go into that event, and we can just resend it to them. Like if they just want to be, they just want us to resend it to them, we can do that. Super easy. And we can also pull data, like who received certificates from each event. And then from that data, we actually will give out like gift cards for most attended, webinars and stuff like that. So we can kind of see who's earned the most and stuff like that, just from pulling it all into Excel sheets and then, extrapolating our data that way. So yeah, we do a lot with reporting just in general.
During our interview, Jenny Glaze talked about the positive experiences she had with our support team and how it was the right decision to start working with Sertifier.
I think what we like about the way you guys do it is it's very similar to the way we are as a company. So when we sign up a client, we assign them like a point of contact, right? So they have their point of contact person, their representative, so to speak. And that's something we promise to all our clients who sign up for merchant processing with us. And so I think what we look for in other companies is that same thing. So like you've been our point of contact this whole time. So anytime I need anything, I'm just like, Nicole and I, you met Nicole, she's our director of events. Anytime we need anything, she's like, have you talked to AA? I'm like, no, have you talked to AA? She's like, maybe we should email them. I'm like, let's email. And so we've been very happy about having, our own person, who can help us with our account. And I mean, you get back to us right away. Like, we never feel like we're left out in the dark, or left hanging. Nice. So yeah, it's been great. I'm very happy with and your tech team, your IT folks, like when we needed that Zap reconfigured or anything else that we needed, I mean, they just get on it and get it done. So it's pretty great.
If you'd like to learn more about this case study, click the link in the description. And you can always contact us to get more information about Sertifier.
I would say don't walk, run. Like run and sign up with Ege as fast as you can. Get it implemented. He will train you, your whole team, on how to even get your Zaps connected. He will spend time with you and make sure everything works. And you're going to save hours and hours and hours a week. Like that's my recommendation.